Hello everyone, my name is Yasum and welcome back to Regrowth. This is episode 52, I believe. We'll see if I'm right. Now, last time we made this, now it's actually been doing pretty good. Granted, I left it for probably close to 2 days, which was a little longer than I meant to. I just put down the remaining 6 pools and sparked them, so you can see they're already filling up pretty good. I mean, these are, let's see what they're actually at. Yeah, so these are nearing half. These are closer. But these two went down first, so they got a chunk of the power that was in that pool down there. You can see they're actually generating pretty good. I did put down 4 more flowers. We didn't have enough, fire runes, and I didn't want to make more at the time. So we're missing 2 right there. What I want to play with today is I want to play with some potatoes, some cactus, and some carrots. And the reason we want to do that, let's take one of these. Yeah, one, 2, 3, 4. What this gives us, let's see if I can remember this, is these cellular blocks. A ton of them. These are used with our Dandelifeon, however you pronounce it. We're going to slap that on top of it, a lever, and a torch, just because. And then we're going to give it a Gaia spreader. Now, let's go here. Wait. You. Here. Yeah, here, let's look at this here. Let's compare something real quick here. Gaia spreader. Okay, so normal spreader, probably goes to maybe this pool. Maybe. Alvin goes a little farther. Look where the pip is for the Gaia spreader. Way out there. Little pink dot floating there in the air. That's how far that thing can fire before it starts losing power. Oops. These things are insane, but then again, it's such a pain to get them. I would hope they would be insane. Alright, let's see here. I've been doing a little bit of research here. This thing is based on Conway's Game of Life. I say based because there are some modifications to it. I'm trying to remember what they all are. I know the area around the 3x3 around the plant itself is where mana can be generated. It basically eats the cells that end up in that area. The plant itself affects, you can see this area here that it affects. I think it's a 25 by 25 area. So it's got some pretty good reach. These cells specifically cannot be acted on by 2 of these. Sorry, apparently I'm tired. What ends up happening is every round it runs through some rules. So let's see, are you on? So if we put down... There we go. You saw it killed them off because it was on by mistake. Apparently the redstone signal activates it that backwards. So we've got these 3 cells. Now we flip the switch. And they start moving. Now they'll last, each one of these cycles I think is a second, and they'll last a maximum age of 60 cycles. That's one of the restrictions. Otherwise, there are patterns you can get in Conway's Game of Life that will repeat forever. And that's also why the area is restricted. So eventually, if we watch these long enough, they will die. And then let's see here. Somewhere I wrote down one of the other patterns. Because there are some patterns from the Game of Life that translate over pretty well. Let's see. That might take a while to set up. Something simple. Okay. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I remember this. You off. I'm running this one from memory. It's a... Yeah, these break when you hit them. It's a Tetris piece with an extra pip, I think. I think this is called a glider. Now you saw it got eaten. So now this thing We'll see. Did it get any power out of those? Were they alive long enough? Yeah, see, it didn't get that much power. The older a cell is, the more power it's worth. But, I mean, that's a Gaia spreader, so that's still a decent amount of power. Let's take a look here. I don't remember exactly how this one worked. Not like that, apparently. That was not worth much. A cell, I think, if I remember correctly, if you place it in that 3x3, it will just die. It won't actually do anything. What did I do wrong here? Oh, that's why it was too close. There's a 3x3. Apparently that's like a... Yeah, 3x3 is the mana zone, but the one out from around that... 4 or 5, I think, is a no-grow zone. So we got 1, 2, 3. Let's try here. We got a bunch of these. Let's just play around with it until we find the right one. Neat. Where did we put it? Stop that. I'm starting to think that I think they've made some revisions since a lot of the documents on this were made. I get the feeling that what it's looking like it's doing is as soon as one enters the munching zone, it eats them all. Which, you know, still not that big a deal. That is too far out. So see, this one just kind of spins. Normally what would have happened with this is one of those cells would have hit that point and it would have started just, you know, eating them. But because of the way it's working, it doesn't seem to be doing that. Let me go grab another pattern here. Oh, wait, no, let that run until it dies. Let me get this another pattern set up. I'll be right back. Okay, this one I pulled specifically off the Britannia Reddit page. It looked like it came from someone named Mageling55. I don't know if this one still works. But you can see there's the 3x3 area. I'm guessing what's going to happen is because of the change in the way things worked, as soon as one of these flips, it's immediately going to eat all of them. But we'll see. So they're just outside of that 3x3, and it's a fairly easy pattern when you look at it. So there's our little 3x3 ring right here, and it's just a corner and nice little even pattern. So if we flip that, yeah, splat, they immediately die. This is going to take some playing. All right, which way does the glider go? So this should be... Where's the range of the plant? You're way out here. Okay, so when we set up the thing last time, so if we put one here, is that going to work? That's not going to work. Oh, wait, yes it will. Okay, let's see if we did this right. I thought by setting the glider up like this, it would go that direction. Now, if this works, by the time it gets there, it should have a little bit of power to it. Let's see if I did it right or if it goes the other way. Assuming it even makes it here, given how slow it's going. It's got to move about 25 blocks. Oof, 50 cycles maybe? Actually, that's not 25 blocks. That's what, like 13? Whoa. Okay, that actually worked out pretty good. I mean, that's... Oh, I didn't realize the mana spreaders were affected by redstone. Huh. That explains a little bit. So what the idea here would be is apparently we need to get that lever in a different location. Actually, let's do that. You have any power left in you? Who cares? Pop. And you to you. You to you. There we go. No. Okay. The idea would be that we would set up some type of timer to keep this thing off for a fraction of a second. Then use something. Let's mark you. Let's go grab some blocks here real quick. Let's just do some of you. Alright, so this was the corner. Yeah, so here we needed 5. I can count. Promise. Where is it again? And then... I don't want to break you. Oh well, we'll just skip that one. Alright, so the idea would be you'd have something keyed to place like the Ranuncarpus or something. Or I'm thinking about trying some striped pipes. You know, you drop a... All you need to do is shut that thing off long enough for these blocks to be placed here. Once they're placed, this needs to go off or be allowed to start and then stay active long enough for that to travel all the way over there. And now this is a fresh mana spreader, so we'll see how much power this produces when it gets there. It's too bad you can't see how old the blocks are by looking at them. Okay, so pretty much 75% of a Gaia mana spreader is how much that produces. So if you could have that set up where all 4 corners, when active at the same time, reach the middle at the same time, that could overflow this thing. So you'd want to make sure that you weren't both filling this and the plant up or you're wasting it. Let's take a look at this. This is kind of like playtime here. Let's see. So our pattern, it looks like it goes in that direction. So if we were to come over to the other corner, we want it to go that way. Somehow this is going to break my brain. Oop, no. Ooh. Wrong. Well, let's see. That might work. Let's find out. Hopefully you can see still. Okay. It's crawling. Will one of them get there first? I'm pretty sure, depending on how it lands. And... thump. Full. With some to spare. So you could probably do... We might actually be able to do... You might be able to launch 3 of them. Maybe 4. This thing will need to have its own area set up. That way I don't have to keep highlighting it to remember where in the world the plant is. And then it was like that. Like that. Where's the edge over here? Right there. So then we need one here, 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 here. Oh, what the heck. Let's just go all out. Put another one. Alright, let's see what happens if we fire 4 of them into it. Hey, is that what happens? Ooh. Weird. Here we go. Should go off soon, and... well, I get the feeling this plant has got a significantly higher capacity, because we went to what? 30, 35, 40%, something like that on the plant. So, I mean, if you could automate this, it has a higher output potential by a long shot than this farm. But this farm's already automated fairly easily, where this one, the expense of automating, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Let me go look at something, and I'll be back. Okay, I moved the plant over a little bit, and you can see I bordered the area. So the... Wrong thing. There we go. This is the 25th block. So this is the square. Up into the, now that I think about it, probably should have moved it out one, but the living rock brick. That's the edge of the area that this thing can affect. And then I used the wand of the shifting crush to get rid of the, was it marble? Yeah, chiseled marble. What I want to see is if we come over here and we place that little pattern, and then we come over here and we place the little glider pattern, I kind of want to confirm that when that hits the middle, that gets destroyed, because that's a difference in a lot of the rules I've been reading about this plant, because I've been kind of, looking and reading on this thing for quite a while now. Trying to get an idea, because it's been, ever since it was released, it's like, this is a neat plant, I kind of want to play with it. And I finally got to the version where I can make it, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, how much power did you produce? That wasn't, was it? Yeah, it was, okay, it was 75%. I thought maybe it gave us power for this one. So, how would you... Because as soon as one block touches it, it destroys it. So the idea would be to use a long-lived pattern that was easy to set up. I had some automation for this kind of planned out, but the rules are a little different. Does it say H? Hello, cat. Functional generating Dandelifeon. Possible strongest, yes. Okay, blah blah blah. 25 by 25, centered on the flower. Well, it has a redstone signal. Okay, twice a second. So twice a second. Okay. Game executes. Live dead. I guess we should probably talk about that. For the most part, if you picture the a cell as a 3x3 area with like a crafting grid, the actual cell is the cell in the middle, is the block in the center. Anything around it, those 8 are considered its neighbors. For every step of the game, the following transitions might happen. Any live cell with fewer than two or more than 3 live neighbors dies. So if it's a cell with 1 next to it, it would die, or if it was a cell with 4, it would die. Any live cell with exactly 2 or 3 neighbors lives. Okay. Any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell. Okay. So if it's dead and it has neighbors around it, has 3 around it, it comes back to life. And then 2 or 3. I think 2 or 3 is kind of the happy state. I wonder if that's the state that can breed a cell. Is there anything in here? All transitions happen at the same time. A few additional rules listed on the following pages. All cells have an age starting at 0. Whenever a cell lives on by having 2 or 3 neighbors, its age is increased by 1. Whenever a dead cell becomes a live cell, the age of the new cell is equal to the age of the oldest neighbor. Okay, plus 1. Any cell older than 60 generations will die during the next step. Second off, 3x3 zone centered around the Dandelifeon itself is non-habitable, and okay, so that's the 3x3 is kind of the kill zone. Created more mana. Whenever any live cells are absorbed in the zone, all other cells on the board die. Yep. That would do it. Ooh, dang, why am I dinging? Oh, that's why. I'm starting to think this might be something that could take a little bit more planning. A few other restrictions. Yeah, having 2 flowers will kill them. And if you try and move it yourself by like a piston. Cactus, carrots, fragile. Yes, if we try to break them, they break. They may not be picked up once placed down or moved by a piston, and may not be created... What? They may not be picked up once placed down or moved by pistons, and may not be created through having 3 live neighbors on a dead block on any block that isn't air. Huh. If not within the range. Okay, so if we put it outside of a flower, it's a normal building block. There's the carrots. Yeah, there's quite a bit of rules to this. I think this is going to take a little bit more research here. I mean, it definitely produces a crazy amount of power. I mean, we've got that, and we've really only played with so many of these things. And, you know, we've got the farms over there producing carrots. I mean, I just took a stack of, or a barrel of each. These are a little bit more of a pain. I can't remember how we got the cactus early on. So I just made a whole bunch of slime balls and converted them using a catalyst. So, more beeping. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, I think that this is definitely going to require some more playing. Because it's definitely, I mean, it's definitely neat. So, a live cell with 2 or more neighbors. So he's got 3. This one has 2. This one only has 1. So when we turn this on, those 2 immediately died. These 2 went into a form of stasis where they're just basically sitting here. Okay, so you can modify them mid-flight. I wonder what the age of that cell is when you create it, though. Well, look at that thing go. Just for giggles. Oh, I killed it. Oh, man, those are fragile. All right, I think having gone over the basic rules of you listening to me read, hopefully that was, you know, terribly exciting, and us going over some basics of like the simple glider pattern, which is just, this is only one of them. There are so many more. Basically, you just have to look up the Conway's rules, and you have to kind of gauge it because you only have 25 by 25 to work with, and you don't have infinite age. So if it fires twice every second, you can only have 60 generations. I mean, what's that, 30 seconds, and this thing is basically gone. So it'll last no longer than that before everything on the board dies, unless you're adding new blocks constantly. But if you didn't do it in the right pattern, they all die off as soon as they touch the board anyways. So this is going to be interesting. Yes. But I think for now, I think we're going to call it. I'm going to do some more planning. I don't know, it may take me an episode or 2 or more, or however long it takes me to wrap my brain around how this thing functions fully, and then try to come up with some way to automate it. Because, you know, we probably could use striped pipes, but they're a little bit of a pain to time properly. The trick is going to be holding that thing off. You know, basically removing the redstone signal while the placement is going, and then allowing it to have redstone long enough for it to travel here. So I think that's going to be the trick. It may take maybe 2 hourglasses, something like that. I'll have to see. Definitely requires some thought. Okay, before I get sucked into that and completely phase out and forget what I'm doing, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you know, liked watching us go over these things, you know, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button and you will see more videos. If you know someone who might like watching the Dandelifeon in work or in use, and the basics of kind of how it works, and, you know, watching me trip over the fact that the rules have apparently changed, send them a link. Maybe they'll like the video, maybe they'll subscribe, and then, you know, I'm happy, you're happy, everyone's happy, and we all like being happy. So again, thank you for watching.